I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Pro Tour counter-attack here, Ari Lax.
All right, welcome everybody to beautiful RIW Housing Games in Livonia, Michigan. Today we're playing some Paper Pioneer. We're making magic happen. I'm your normal host, Zach. We don't have a teammate of mine today, but we have one of my good friends, Stephen Dykman, joining us. How you doing, Stephen?
Good, man. I'm excited to play some Pioneer today. I haven't played Paper in a really long time, since quarantine started, so this is going to be cool. Also, I haven't played a ton of Pioneer recently, so it's going to be cool to touch the format again. A little bit about myself. Excuse me. Like Alan was saying, my name's Stephen Dykman. For those who don't know, I am a member of Swish Gaming. That's located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is also where I'm from. And some accolades I have related to Magic are I've played on two Pro Tours, nearly played on a third. Alan and I were teammates at a GP and got 5th place on Breakers, which was pretty rough.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But yeah, that was a 5th place finish, so we'll say it's a top 8 of a GP, I guess. Kind of counts.
Yeah, we count those.
We'll count them. And then I have a few other top 16s, multiple top 64s, so pretty good finishes at some GPs. And one of my big accomplishments recently is I top 8'd the last SCG Invitational before quarantine started. And then I also have four open top 8s. So those are some accolades. And if you want to catch me streaming with a fellow teammate of mine, Larry Fields, you can do so on Twitch at Swish TV. And we also have a podcast called Talking Swish. So
Cool. Well, let's get into what we're playing today. Like I said, Paper Pioneer. I am playing kind of the breakout deck of the last, I want to say, week and a half, something like that. It is a Jund sacrifice deck, although it's mostly just green-black, just Golgari.
Yep.
The only red card in the deck is Mayhem Devil, but it's still Jund for those purposes. So what I'm doing here is I have a bunch of one-mana accelerants. I have 10 of them. 3 Llanowar Elf, 3 Elvish Mystic, 4 Gilded Goose. And then we're a sacrifice deck that's built on really flooding the board and killing people with Mayhem Devil triggers and Zulaport Cutthroat.
Yep.
So really the engine of this deck is Collected Company. Every creature in my deck costs 3 or less. So I want to just flood the board with Collected Companies.
Yep.
And then I have Bolas' Citadel as kind of this insane engine towards the end of the game, I guess you will.
Yep.
My big sack outlet is Woe Strider.
Yep, absolutely.
Which, another thing I can escape from the graveyard if people are killing my stuff, but it's a 3-mana 3/2, makes an 0/1 when it enters the battlefield, and I can sack a creature to scry. And then Mayhem Devil is kind of the big engine. It's why we're playing red, but whenever you sack a permanent with Mayhem Devil in play, it deals 1 damage to anything. So I can deal it to you if I want to go to face, or if I need to maybe take care of some of your creatures, I can also hit them.
Yep.
Then we've got Catacomb Sifter. It's kind of like a bad Woe Strider. It doesn't really sacrifice stuff, which is unfortunate. But when it enters the battlefield, it makes a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion that can sack, so it does make something that can sack. And then it says, whenever a creature I control dies, I scry 1. So really, between Woe Strider and Catacomb Sifter, if I have them both in play in a Bolas' Citadel, I basically can cast the majority of my library.
Yep.
So it's kind of you just scry lands away from the top and then just keep casting spells. It gets kind of insane.
Yep.
The other sack outlets we have are Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I can tap it and sacrifice 2 other creatures I control to make you sacrifice a creature. You will lose 2 life, and then I'll draw a card and add 2 black mana to my mana pool. So it also serves as like fixing and ramp for Bolas' Citadel. And then I have Zulaport Cutthroat as the other sacrifice payoff. It says, whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature I control dies, you lose 1 life and I gain 1 life. So I kind of will just get a bunch of creatures in play, sack them all to drain you to death.
Yep.
And then the one weird card we have here is we have 1 Evolutionary Leap. The last slot I think has been seen a lot of different things tried and added and whatnot. I don't know how good Evolutionary Leap is. I kind of think it's the next best sack outlet in Pioneer. It's another good way to just keep aggregating resources. If you point a burn spell at one of my things, I can just sacrifice it and draw another card. And it's always going to hit a creature, which is nice. That's what I'm doing. What do you got for us, Steven?
So mine is definitely less exciting. It's just traditional Boros burn, technically. But really, it's very nearly mono-red. We're starting off with Monastery Swift Spear. Obviously, this is a great one-drop. Pretty much any format where this card is legal, it sees play in the red aggro decks. It's just fast, very efficient, does what you need it to do, gets people dead quickly, and that's what this deck's trying to do. The next one's Soulscar Mage. Soulscar Mage, close friend of Monastery Swift Spear. Doesn't have haste, so a little bit worse in this format because the neg1 counter clause for your burn spells I don't think matters that much. It comes up, but it's not going to matter as much. So it's a slightly worse Swift Spear, I would say. Then we've got Jitu Lava Runner. It's a 1/2 human wizard, and as long as there are 2 more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, which shouldn't be too hard for this deck, it gets +1/+0 and has haste. 4 of each of those cards, and then we have 1 Zergo Bell Striker, and that's really just to kind of round out the 1-drops. You just really every game you want to play a creature on turn 1. It's very important. You need to get that damage in as quickly as possible. So that's kind of the justification there. Then we've got, I guess, let's mention, like I said, we're Boros. We're Boros because we're playing Lurrus as our companion. Pretty much free to do that in Burn. It's been pretty free to do that in pretty much every format with Burn, because traditionally Burn does not play permanents that are 3 or more. So it slots right in. It's nice value engine if you need it late. Gets hasters back, gets 1-drops back, gets Pyromancer back to deal some damage, which we'll get to next. But yeah, so we've got Viashino Pyromancer next. It's another wizard, and when he enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. So just a nice 2-drop, deals damage when it enters, and then obviously if it dies, you can later replay it with Lurrus and get more damage off it, which is really cool. And then the last card for creatures is Eidolon of the Great Revel. It's another 4 of. This one I'm interested to see how it plays out. I was testing Burn a week or so ago, and I had Eidolons in the sideboard of that deck, and they were pretty unimpressive, so I'm interested to see how they'll be today. I'm not convinced that this card either should not be Abbot of Carol Keep, which saw a lot of play in the modern Lurrus red decks, or it could also just be another burn spell. But with that, we'll see how it goes today.
I do think Eidolon is going to be really good against me, though.
Especially on the play.
Yeah, well,
on the draw, it's going to be, I think, a little medium, but on the play, yes, it will be a big deal.
Well, like, I'm a Collected Company deck, and that thing triggers off spells that cost 3 or less.
Yeah, so every creature.
Every creature in my deck is going to deal me 2 damage.
Yeah.
The only thing that gets around it is Collected Company.
Yep.
Bullis' Citadel, I guess, gets around it.
Probably not going to be in your deck post-board if I were to guess.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Also, Bullis' Citadel, like, I'm paying life to cast a spell, which is already kind of
medium.
Bad against burn.
Yeah, because my plan is to kill you with burn spells, so I'm totally cool with you taking damage.
But if you have an Eidolon in play, it like makes them cost double life.
That's
essentially.
Fair. Yeah.
Which is just tough.
Yeah, so it will be an important card in this matchup. So honestly, maybe it's just really good right now. Because like I said, when I played, I haven't really even seen this deck yet. So when I played, I didn't run into this deck, and maybe it's going to be a really, really important card against this deck, like you're saying.
I believe it. Yeah, I think it will be.
So, anyway, those are the creatures. Now we'll get over to the burn spell package. The first one here, Wizard's Lightning, basically just a little bit worse Lightning Bolt. There are, 12 wizards in the deck. I always, sometimes I think Swift Spear's a wizard. It seems like it is, but monk. Anyway, 12 wizards to make Wizard's Lightning 1 mana, 3 damage instant. Just clean, solid, efficient card. The next one we've got Lightning Strike. Not as efficient. Still 2 mana, 3 damage, instant. Does what you need it to. Then we've got 4 Wild Slash. Basically just a little better shock. Again, clean, efficient answer, especially for all your mana dorks. Yep. It's going to be a very important card in this matchup. Then we've got the 4 Light Up the Stage. Not a burn spell, but a nice little card advantage spell. Lets me keep more 1-landers, especially on the play. And just a really good card. Yep. And then the last one, another reason we're Boros besides Lurrus, is Boros Charm. Just a clean 2 mana, 4 damage to your face. Sometimes you'll use the indestructible mode against like Supreme Verdicts and things, but usually it's going 4 upstairs. I'm interested to see. I'm really interested to see how this matchup plays out. I imagine Game 1 Boros Charm will be fine because I'm just trying to burn you out, but I'm pretty sure Boros Charm is going to be one of the first cards that leaves my deck in the matchup.
That makes sense. All right, let's shuffle up in battle.
Yeah.
All right, Dykman, we're back for Game 1. You want even or odd?
Even.
Even? I've been going really poor in die rolls, so I imagine this is going to be even.
Yeah,
and it is.
let's
All right.
go.
Yep, perfect.
That's what the red deck needs, baby.
All right, you going to keep?
Oh, let's see here. This hand is close. Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. It's a very, very, very close hand. This could be wrong. Honestly, some of the reason I'm keeping it may be slightly biased, because I know how good one of my cards is going to be in the matchup. But even without bias...
Well, you know, it's open list, so you would know.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Then, yeah, I would definitely keep this hand.
Okay. My hand would be amazing if one of the lands tapped for green. Unfortunately, it does not, so I'm going to have to mulligan.
Okay.
But I did have 3 lands, Elf, 2 Woe Striders, and a Bolas' Citadel, which is basically just what you're looking for.
Yep.
The only thing that would make the hand better is a Coco.
Yep.
But, again, no green mana. Just easy mulligan.
Coco's going to be a really, really good card in this matchup for sure. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, this hand's kind of loose. I don't have any acceleration. I do have this card, which is surprisingly good against him. I'm nowhere close to casting this, but I also just don't think it's good in the matchup. And I'm on 6, so I think this is an easy bottom if I do keep this.
Makes sense.
That said, this hand's close. No 1 mana play is kind of rough. I think it's fine though because it would probably just die anyway. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep. I am not super confident about this. I'm definitely bottoming this card. And then lead us off, Dykman.
All right, cool. Vantage, Swift Spear, 1 you. You're at 19. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna play a tap Blood Crypt past you.
Yep. That was an interesting draw, but I think that I'm gonna 1 you and play this Eidolon. Go.
Oh boy. So I'm at 18, and there's an Eidolon now facing me down.
Yeah, he's here, doing his thing.
So I could play this here, but honestly I don't think it does enough to like even pay the 2 life for it. And I think instead I'm just going to get this into play and not take damage, and I'll pass.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. 3.
Yep, I go to 15.
Second main. Ouch, I'll go to 18. I'm going to light it up.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to play this Soulscar Mage. Play this
So you go to 16 off the Soulscar Mage.
tapped. Yep.
Okay.
Your turn.
Alright. I am going to play a Blooming Marsh and cast a Catacomb Sifter.
Yeah, you're it.
Yep, go to 13 and pass to you. Oh, sorry. I got a Scion.
So I'm going to take another 2 damage. 14. Take another 2 damage. This guy.
12. I'm winning the race now.
You are.
Not for long,
You
sadly.
are indeed.
Oh, I'm a goat either.
So I'm going to play another Inspiring Vantage tapped, and I'm just going to pass.
Well, this is weird. This signifies to me that Dykman just doesn't have
Anything.
Yeah, like no
this
burn
is a very,
spells.
very obvious situation where I don't have burn, which is obviously awkward to signal to him, but attacking for just 2 damage and losing my Eidolon is horrendous. So
I agree.
I just need to kind of hope to rip well. I kept a 4-lander, which was definitely risky, but Swift Spear Eidolon on the play to light up the stage, I think, is a good enough.
So I just want to make sure that I don't die in one swing. I am going to take damage, but
Yep.
I think it's okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and play a Woe Strider here. It'll take me down to 11.
Yep.
But I at least get another thing in play.
Yeah, I think what the literal only scenario where you're gonna die, and you would die in this scenario anyway, is like if I literally just cast a light up and hit like double 1 mana burn spell,
Yeah,
which are going upstairs. Well, honestly, I'd probably kill blockers at that point, but
Yep. All
yeah,
right.
no, I think this is good.
It's your turn.
Yep. That is an interesting one. Well, seems unlikely you have a Coco, because you probably would have shocked to cast if you have a shock land. So I think I just need to do this. I'm gonna play another Eidolon, go to 10.
Okay.
Your turn.
So my next spell will take me to 7. If I have a Coco, I'm in an okay spot. It's a good draw.
Uh-oh. That sounds like Coco to me.
I'm gonna play my land tapped, and you got 2 Eidolons, so I just can't cast any of these 4 cards in my hand. I'm
yeah,
gonna
4
pass
mana
with 4
pass,
mana
yeah,
available.
sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's very unfortunate.
I drew another land. Go.
I can get Lurrus.
Oh, I suppose I should get Lurrus. Good call. I'm not going to play it, but I am going to get it and play my tap land. I think playing Lurrus is actually a liability at this point.
Okay.
Your turn.
I'm gonna cast a Collected Company end of turn.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I don't think anyone's too surprised.
I don't think so either. Oh, this is... Oh, that was good. I was gonna say, we whiffed, but now we didn't whiff.
Alright.
Alright, so I got a Priest of the Forgotten Gods and a Mayhem Devil.
Yeah.
Okay, so... I can now start killing Eidolons to start deploying my hand, but Dykman's only at 10. I actually might just have you dead here.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to my turn.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I think you're definitely just supposed to go upstairs.
Well, so I think it's safer if I go to my turn first. So I'm gonna draw for
it
turn.
It definitely is.
Oh wow, we just drew another Coco. That's the dream. That's
Must
the
be
dream
right.
with Coco decks is when you
I wish I could draw spells.
you have a Coco and then you cast it and look at the top 6 and the 7th card down was another Coco.
Yeah.
So good. All right, so I do think it's right to start my turn by casting a Mayhem Devil.
Yeah.
So I go to 7.
Yeah, I'm very, very dead.
I think you're dead here, but
Oh, I'm super dead.
let's play it out.
Well, you literally all you have to do is activate Priest, and I can't play a spell. Because you put me to 4.
Sure.
2,
Yeah.
4, 6.
So I'm gonna sack a Scion right away.
Yeah.
To make a mana, and I get
And
to
Coco.
scry because of Sifter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bottom that. You take 2, go to 8.
Yep.
So I have the mana
Very-
floating.
Very dead on board, even without Alan. Just had
I'll
all
cast the
these me right
Coco.
now.
Yeah, this is so nice. Oh, there's another Mayhem Devil. That's gonna be great.
Okay, let's go to the next game. I've had
And a Gilded Goose.
enough. Great.
Boom, and then I'm gonna sack some stuff and deal a lot of damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, we're back for some post-board action. So for me, I'm gonna cut the 4 Bolus of Citadels. Paying life against you on a 6-drop is just not something I'm interested in at all against
Terrible.
Burn.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's really good in other matchups. This isn't the one for it. It's getting out. I'm going to cut the Evolutionary Leap. Again, I just don't think I need the value against you. Coco and Corval are enough.
Plenty.
This would be great against a deck with sweepers, but just not here. And Priest is good against you. Making you sack some stuff is good. I like that, but it doesn't do anything when it enters the battlefield, and it's just probably going to eat a Searing Blood or a Shock. So probably
Not only that, but like sacking 2 of your own creatures sometimes is kind of not what you want to be doing anyway in this matchup. You just want to get guys to block, have bodies. So
totally agree. And like against a matchup where they have like a big creature, like SRAM or something, or a Spirits, it's really good. When I'm making you sack a 1-drop, it's not very good. So we're gonna do that. I'm bringing in 2 Corvalds just because it's so big. You're gonna have a really hard time killing it.
If it's in play and I'm not in a position to kill you, I'm going to die to it almost certainly. So that makes sense.
It just is so big. Vraska's a good way to kill Eidolon that doesn't take damage, but also kind of an engine because I am cutting Bolus of Citadel. I need to make sure I still have some card draw to be able to find stuff through my deck.
And some life gain too.
Sure, yeah. It's a marginal life gain, but it adds up.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 Fatal Pushes to just kill your 1-drops.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on my board plan here. I'm pretty certain Boros Charm is supposed to not be in my deck in this matchup. Searing Blood is obvious to bring in. It's possible that maybe I am supposed to be more burn-centric and leave the charms in and cut, like, I think Pyromancer is probably the worst creature in my deck because it's an X1 for 2 mana, so it dies to Mayhem Devil triggers and things. But I am on the play, so I think playing it and attacking with it and getting 2 more points out of it is very real. And I am still a Lurrus deck at the end of the day, so if it dies, I can always replay it later.
I also think it's important to have stuff to turn on Wizard's Lightning.
It is, yeah, definitely important for that. I think this is my plan on the play, and I believe on the draw I'm going to have a slightly different plan. Pyromancer will probably boot. I'll be cutting in that position, but we'll see if we get to a game 3 here. So
okay, let's shuffle up.
all right, my hand is honestly excellent. I can't really draw it up much better than this, so I'm certainly keeping it.
Okay, my hand's about what I would look for. I would have liked one of my sideboard cards, but you can't always ask for that, and I've got a good curve. I've got one of the better cards in the matchup here in this, and I even have some decent threats in case my early stuff gets dealt with, so I'm going to keep.
Yep. Okay. I do need to think about how I want to sequence here, because there are definitely some things to think about. I'm pretty sure, though, I just want to be getting in that damage, so let's just go there.
19.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to play a Blooming Marsh.
Yep.
And put a Gilded Goose in play.
It's a goose.
And I get a food token, which I also...
I think that the best turn 2 line for me is to do this. I'm going to play a Swift Spear, and I am going to attack you.
Should I block? Absolutely not. No blocking.
Well, I think it's actually an interesting question if you should block. So, the answer is maybe not, but let's think about it. I don't have a wizard in play, right? So
Yep.
I can't Wizard's Lightning your face and kill your guy. The only spell I could have is Shock, and if I had Shock, I would assume I probably would have shocked your goose and still just gotten 4 damage in. It's the same amount of damage, right, if I shock you upstairs.
Yeah, it
and
does
you
slow
block?
me down. All that said, it's just so much risk. But, yeah, I guess given that you don't have a wizard in play, this would be a pretty cheeky block.
Right. I think this is more of a signal that I may like have a light up or something. Right?
I would guess you're showing a light up here, but also like I'm not stopping it by blocking. Like there's no huge upside to this. I save 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And losing this to a shock on my face, I guess it ends up being the same thing.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's fair. All right, I'll shock and fall, or I'll block and fall
because
to the
the
bait.
math is exactly the same. I'm pretty sure you are supposed to block.
Okay.
Yep. Take 1.
Okay, we got
go to
lucky.
18. I'm going to lose a life, and I'm going to light up the stage.
Makes sense.
Yep. Okay, interesting. Here we go.
Okay, so I can put in some defense here, which I kind of like as the play, but then my goose doesn't make mana next turn, which is kind of awkward. I can also wait, like get a tap land in play and ramp some more, which kind of guarantees I get to start doing this next turn. And I think that's going to be better, so I'm going to play an Elvish Mystic and a tap Blood Crypt and pass.
Yep.
I think another reason I'm safe to do that is Dykman is pretty incentivized to play the things from light up, otherwise he just loses them.
Right.
So it's kind of safe to run something out.
Attack.
Here I don't think I'll block.
I agree. Makes sense to not block.
Like, it would... Like, I just really want these in play, and Dykman could easily just give up casting the Viashino and Lightning Strike me, and then get in more damage and a free kill spell, so I will pass.
Yep, just take 2.
16.
I think I need to just get my spells out there, so 14, play Zergo. Your turn.
Okay. I'm going to draw...
Let's see how messed up this turn is. There's definitely a lot of potential here for Alan to really kind of do some nut stuff.
Alright, I have, I got 6 cards in hand, but I don't have any plays, so I'm going to go ahead and pass.
Oh, what a stunner. But this does... no lands from Alan here is really interesting. That tells me a lot about how important these dorks are to him. Okay.
The Get to Lava Runner.
So, I think it's most important to kill this.
Okay.
Triggers.
I'm gonna float a green.
Yep. I would attempt to move phase here.
Before we do that, I'm gonna
Do
make
some collected companying.
Yeah, smart. Dude, how did you know?
Yep.
I thought I was gonna catch you off guard with it. Cast Coco.
Yep. I really need Alan to not hit. Specifically, Mayhem Devil here would be probably the worst thing for me. Sifter would be annoying. Those are the two cards I'm looking to dodge.
I did hit Sifter.
All right.
And
Elf is whatever.
Llanowar Elf.
Because that's not a great blocker.
It was the only other hit, but it is
does
important
give you mana.
because yeah.
You need the mana because you're down to just 2 mana now that the food's gone.
Well, I do have a Scion, so
You do.
I do have 4 mana somewhat available.
I'm attacking with everything.
So
10 total.
10 coming in.
Yep.
I could trade off with my Scion if I wanted to, and I think I need to protect my life total here because if the game goes on, I think I'm just going to win. So what I'm going to do is block the Scion on the Viashino, and I guess there's not really a huge difference between Zergo and Grim. I guess this one's slightly better for you in the graveyard because if you Lurrus it, you can haste it, so I'll block there.
Currently, this is also the only wizard in play, which may matter.
Well, I'm killing that one too. That's actually relevant. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I guess you're far enough away from Lurrus that I think you're probably right. That's probably just a better block.
I think you're supposed to get the wizard off the board.
Okay.
You take 6.
Go down to 8.
I'm going to lose a life and play another wizard, but I still definitely think it was the right block with the way the board was.
It makes sense. It makes
Your
sense.
Yep.
Also a creature died, so I get to scry.
Oh, yeah.
I missed
sure.
that.
Sure thing.
And I'm going to scry that to the bottom.
Okay.
I just want anything
Probably
that
not a
makes
land.
mana. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, draw for turn. Okay, so you have no cards in hand?
None. Hellbent.
So I know I just need to beat the board right now. You could draw a burn spell, and that would be good for you, but really I just want to start deploying to the board here, I think. And really, I think the best blocker is just going to be play another Catacomb Sifter.
Yep. Sifter's very,
So
very good
I'm
at
going to do
blocking.
that, and then pass to you. The X one doesn't kill anything, so that's annoying, but I think it's fine. I just need to keep my life total. I want to keep it above 6, I think.
Yeah.
Ideally. Tagging everything.
Yep. All are coming in.
Alright, so I'm going to block here,
Yep.
here,
Yep.
here,
Yep.
and here.
Let's put 2 neg counters on that.
Okay.
Prowess triggers.
Yep. So
Dead.
all my things die.
You're going to get, what, 6 scries? Is that how this works?
Yeah, I do get 6 scries. All my things die, and these bounce.
Yep.
So I get 6 scries, but I don't take any damage.
Yep, which
So
is definitely relevant for Alan there, but I still think it's
first
definitely best
scry,
for me to just get blockers off the table.
Bottom. Second scry, not a land. Bottom.
Yep.
Third scry, that is a land, but it costs me life. How do I feel about that?
Interesting, yeah.
I think most of my lands would cost me life here, though, honestly.
Yeah, the only one who wouldn't was, like, Pain. I guess you have a couple basics. The fetch land doesn't work because it's tapped.
Well, I'm not even playing the fetch land.
Okay, Fabled Passages.
It'd be Llanowar Waste, Blooming Marsh, or one of my basics that keeps me from taking damage.
That's fair.
I guess I have 3 more scries. It's pretty likely I find a land in the next 3. So
You should be able to
I think
find
it's
one in the...
I think it's high enough upside. All right, 2
That
more
makes sense.
scries.
Yeah, because going to 6 is, like, a big deal.
One more
Obviously.
scry. All right, I'll leave that one.
Yep.
On the last scry.
Your turn.
Draw. Alright. I'm going to
Brutal.
play
Yep.
a Land War Wastes.
Pass turn.
No, I think
Alright,
I want to
that's good.
deploy here.
Yep.
I think that's slightly better.
Cool.
I just want to get some blockers in play,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, makes sense.
I'm at 8, so I'm not in a like terrible spot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going to play a Mayhem Devil.
Yep.
And then it's mostly free to just play out this other elf.
Yeah.
And I'll pass.
Yeah.
So now I have at least decent blocks. Dykman has to rip a spell to have good attacks.
Yep.
But you are in a spot where I just have to block.
Yep.
Because
You know, had I drawn a spell, I still think in quite good position. Like a burn spell, especially a 3 damage one, to just kill the devil and then attack all, still had me in a really good spot. I would have hit you for 4. You would have gotten one of my guys off the board, and I would have put you to 4. But as it is, I did not draw that. And I think that I just need to put Lurrus in my hand, play this, go.
Alright, we're back now.
Not a good spot for me.
We're back now.
Sifter can only sack Scions, correct?
Sifter doesn't sack anything. The
Oh.
Scion can sack.
That's right, that's right. That's right.
Alright, I drew a Blooming Marsh. I'm going to play it tapped. Awkwardly, these didn't come in the other order, but it's fine.
I guess we all know it's Lurrus, so...
I think I should probably still just be mana efficient here.
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't want to die to your board.
Yeah.
Not a fan of
That's
that.
the only way you can lose, is
Yeah.
me doing exactly that, probably, so...
So I'm just going to play these two.
Yeah, and those are really good, because
Yep.
Cutthroat's going to give you triggers. Yep.
Alright, your turn.
Yeah. And the priest plus the devil plus the cutthroat is going to be way too much, I think, for me to manage.
Yeah, you really need white mana here, I think.
I do have a white mana, but it's still just so bad because, you know, I shock, I lose another life here, so I'll go to 17. I'll play the Lurrus. I think I'm supposed to just get damage on you and play the Pyromancer.
Sure.
But your turn is going to be just incredible, honestly, because you're going to get to kill Lurrus. Lurrus for sure will die to some devil triggers. You're going to gain a bunch of life. You're going to draw cards. You're going to get scries. No way I'm coming back from this, but go.
Alright.
I missed the window. I really needed a 3 damage spell last turn.
Yeah, the turn I played the devil.
Yep. The turn you played the devil, I needed another burn spell. It honestly didn't even need to be a 3 damage one. Just something that could have let me kill your devil.
That was a really good draw.
A Coco.
Well, that was... I actually had a Coco in my hand already, and I am
Is it
gonna
another
cast it.
Cutthroat?
No, it wasn't, but
Another devil?
it's a good one. You'll see in a second.
Okay.
So I'm going to start my turn off by making 2 green mana.
Yep.
And then I'm going to activate Priest of the Forgotten
Or 2
Gods.
black mana.
I'm going to sack this, so I have green, green, black, black floating.
You gain 2. I lose 2.
I don't gain life from this, right?
Yeah, you do. I think.
Nope.
And you gain.
Oh, I gain 2 from the Zulaport,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Priest doesn't, but Zulaport does.
Yep.
So I'll go back to 8.
And I go to 13 because of the priest happening. We've got...
Yep, Zulaport takes you 2. Mayhem Devil is going to do 2 damage. It'll do it to Lurrus.
Yep. The obvious kill Lurrus. Yep.
Now, you are going to sacrifice a creature, and I draw a card. And
Yep.
you also
and then
lose 2
devil,
more, right?
Devil will trigger again. So I'm going to sack this, so Devil can't kill this.
Yep.
But...
And I draw.
So there's another Devil trigger on the stack.
Yeah, the Devil trigger will go at... I guess the Soul Scar. The Soul Scar is the
Sure.
next scariest thing.
Yep. Next best. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use the 4 mana floating to cast
Mm-hmm.
this Collected Company.
Now I'm curious, Alan. Why not Coco? Oh, do you have another Coco?
No, but you'll see.
Okay. I'm curious why we didn't Coco first, just in case you hit.
Oh, hit another Mayhem
more of
Devil?
this stuff, right?
Sure.
You could hit 2 of these, and then this is totally out of control.
That
You hit
makes
Coco
sense.
first.
I might have actually screwed that up.
Yeah, I think you're definitely supposed to Coco first for,
Sure.
for people
I
watching.
really don't... Okay, I just hit one, but I don't think it's going to matter, but yeah, you're
It's
right. I
not.
should've.
You're going to
Yeah.
win this game,
Yeah.
but that was a better line, I think.
So
Yep.
it was just a cutthroat. It would have gained me 2 more life.
Yep.
but- I got a food.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, I guess I actually got to scry 2 too, so I could
Yeah.
have done...
Yep. I
but
forgot.
Zulaport was on top, so I would have...
kept it. I
Yeah.
assume. Yep.
And then...
And you still have 2 floating, right?
No, I used
No.
all my floating mana.
Oh, for the Coco. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then, I guess, because I got this food and I don't really need it.
Just sack it, gain 3, kill off the Soul
Yep.
Scar Mage.
Sack it, gain 3.
Yep.
Go up to 11.
Yep.
Kill Soul Scar Mage.
Yep.
And then I still have play. I'm gonna hit a Swift Spear now.
Yep.
And then I could attack here, and it's probably right to get in with one of them. But if I attack with the Mayhem Devil, I lose it. So just no reason to yet. I think if I just
It
wait
seems
one
really
more turn,
unnecessary.
yeah, I'm just gonna pass.
I don't think it's necessary at all.
If I wait one more turn, I think the game's over.
Yeah. That and stop that. You get to scry. I lose 2. You go to 10. Well, I'm gonna kill your priest. I'm going to lose 2 life. You're going to lose 1 life.
Yep. So I'm gonna lose 3 from Searing Blaze and, then gain 2 from my
Cutthroats.
Cutthroats. Yep. So I'll go to 10.
There's absolutely no reason for me to attack, so I'm gonna pass. But
So I draw. I now don't have a great sacrifice outlet, but
you do have.
I was
Goose.
saving this, so I'm gonna play this Vraska.
Oh yeah, I'll pick him up.
All right.
That's easy. You just kill Swift Spear, and then I can't block
Yeah,
anything.
I kill
You just
Swift Spear,
all.
attack with all my
Yep,
things,
yep,
and I
yep.
think it kills you.
Yep. So for game 3, I'm going to be on the draw this time. I've been on the play both the other games. I think on the draw, I'm much more willing to play more of a control role. I really want to be able to kill dorks. I really want to be able to kill these really good 3-mana X3s. I like having answers to cards like Corvold. So Chain to the Rocks seems very good. I was not impressed with Pyromancer in either of our first 2 games. I can't remember if I drew it the first game, but the second game there, even on the play when it's like supposed to be sweet, it was pretty terrible. I played it on, turn 3, and it got blocked by a 1/1 token and died. And then even though I was able to replay it on 6 or whatever turn it was, it might have been turn 5.
It was then soft to mayhem.
It was just soft to mayhem. It's just, it's not. I'd rather just have a burn spell or a removal spell.
I was gonna say
that's what I was missing in really both those games was the spells part of
Yeah,
my
if
deck.
you had another spell, I think you're in a good spot.
Which
both times.
is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning in the deck tech of how the Eidolons felt a little weird to me because we're a little lower on the spell count than I'm comfortable with.
Sure.
Having 4 skewers in the deck would be nice, just as another way to kill your things and get them out of the way, but also just for more reach. But yeah, we're gonna try the chains instead of the pyros now and see how that works.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well.
I'm on the play. I'll go first.
Yep. Mine doesn't require much explanation here. 0 lands, so we're gonna go to 6.
Okay. I have 3 lands in all my colors, so that's perfect. I even have the Painless one on 1, which is just the ideal land for this deck to have in your opening hand. I've got Acceleration. I've got a good blocking body that also ramps me. I've got a Payoff and a removal spell. This hand's about as perfect as you could possibly ask for against burns, so yeah. Like
Nice.
this.
That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear. So, I am pretty sure that, although this card... This is close. It's between these 2 cards. This card here on the draw is much less effective than on the play. It is still a fairly important card, but honestly, this here might be more important. I think this is very close. I think I'm gonna try. This is gonna be more of an experiment. We're gonna see how good this is gonna end up being. Not sure if that's correct, but that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna play Llanowar Elf and pass.
Yep. Soul Scar Mage.
Scarred up.
Scarred up.
Ooh, that was a really good draw.
Ooh.
So I just want to stop Dykman's output of damage potential.
Yep.
I'm gonna Fatal Push the Soul Scar,
Makes sense.
and then I'm actually just gonna take this opportunity to just get more mana. So I'm gonna Shock, go to 18.
Yep.
Shocking stinks against burn, but I think just developing your board is going to be more important in this deck than preserving your life total early, so I'm going to play a priest and pass to you.
And you have 3 cards in hand?
3 cards, yep.
Alright. So, this turn is really, really interesting for me. I think, just because of like what Alan was saying, my damage output is going to be really important. I think that this is going to give me the most of that. Prowess trigger. Now the question is what I'm supposed to go with. I think... So, Alan could have Catacomb Sifter or Woe Strider, but him having to sack those to kill my guy might not be the worst. 2 black mana. I wouldn't know that he had a 3rd land. This is really, really close. I think my gut is saying take... My gut says take the elf, but that might be wrong. Maybe thinking about it more, it should be priest. Really comes down to if... Yeah, maybe... I'm actually going to go with the priest. Let's go with the priest.
Okay.
Let's attack you for 2.
I go to 16.
Your turn.
So I did have the land, so it was actually probably the right call.
Yeah, it was really close. I'm definitely not sure. Yep.
I'm going to play the Sifter. I think given the context of my hand, you just made the absolute right call.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to play a Stomping Ground and pass.
You have 2 cards, right?
Dos cardes.
I think that if I do not play this card here, it's going to be next to useless. So I'm just going to try and get this going. Go.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to start my turn off by shocking down to 14.
Okay. Not good news for me.
Yeah, it might look a little awkward with the Eidolon in play, but we're going to cast Big Daddy Corvald, the Fey-Cursed King.
Yep.
When Corvald enters the battlefield, I have to sacrifice a permanent. I'm going to sacrifice an elf.
Yep.
These triggers are going to go on the stack. I'm going to put the draw trigger below the Catacomb Sifter, so I'll scry first.
Yep.
So scry. That one's good, and then I'll draw it. And then this gets a counter, so Corvald's got 1 on him, and then I'll pass to you. And I'm sacking the elf there over a land because the elf is vulnerable to removal. It can block, but I still think I'd rather just have my lands in play to be able to cast stuff. Corvald's going to start eating him next turn anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In all likelihood. Yeah, I was really happy to see you play that Chain to the Rocks on 2 because...
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew Corvald was going to come down and be trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe wasn't the best call. Maybe I was... Well, I had to deal with the priest, I think. I couldn't just play Eidolon into priest, I don't...
If you had a better way to deal with priest, you
Yeah.
should have done it, but I would guess that you don't
didn't.
because you probably would have saved Chain to the Rocks because you just know there's bigger stuff to deal with.
Yep.
And priest was going to deal a ton of damage to you and just like start eating your board, so I think it's right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take 2.
Yep. 18.
Go.
Ooh, I get to untap with Corvold. I like that. Big fan of that. So I get to draw for turn. Well, that's really good. I'm gonna tap my Overgrown Tomb and push your Eidolon.
Okay.
Puts me to 12.
Yep.
And then I am going to cast a Woe Strider. I will get Goat.
Trigger on the stack.
Sure.
Searing Blood, your Woe Strider.
Okay. That trigger on the stack, I will sacrifice the Eldrazi Scion to the Woe Strider.
Yep.
And the way this is going to work is I'll get to scry...
Yep.
Or, no. I'm going to get to scry 1 from Catacomb Sifter, then draw a card, then scry 1.
Sure.
Because the resolution is this one scry, so I can't
Yep.
go both on top.
Yep, yep.
So, scry 1.
Yep.
I don't like that. I'm going to bottom that. I get to draw off Corvold.
Yep.
That one was okay.
Okay.
This will
Counter
go
there.
2. Then I scry 1 again.
Yep.
I'll leave that.
Yep.
And then this dies and I take 3.
Yep.
And then I would get another scry here because this died, but I topped, so it doesn't really matter. I think
Yep.
I was at 12, right? So I go to 9.
Yep.
Now I get my Goat.
Yep.
I'm going to play my land for turn. Go to combat.
Yep.
You have 1 card in hand?
I do.
I think I can pretty safely get the 1 attack in here.
6 damage. Yeah, probably sack a land, I assume.
I would definitely be sacking a land,
Yeah.
probably the Blooming Marsh.
Yeah.
But the question is, like, how good is that for me?
Mm-hmm.
I think this sets you up to die next turn, so I will do this.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to do it as
So
well.
I'll attack, trigger, I
Mhm.
sacrifice a land, draw a card.
Yep. And I'll go to 12.
Yep, and I hit you for 7. Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's 7. You were at 18,
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. Yep, yep, yep.
After the Eidolon. Okay. And then I'm good. It's your turn.
Huh. Okay. Actually, pretty good draw for me. So this, kill this.
Lightning Strike, sure.
Prowess triggers 6.
Okay, so this dies, I get to scry.
Yep.
Oh, that's quite good.
Coco.
No, the Coco's already in my hand.
No, great. Yeah.
You got 11, so I just have to sack. What do I have to hit? Oh, I'll leave this. That makes sense. I'm gonna leave that.
Okay.
And I'll block.
Yep.
Well, you have no cards in hand, right?
No cards. Yep.
So you're coming in for 6.
Yes.
So if I don't block, I go to 3,
Mhm.
and then.
Which doesn't matter if I'm dead, obviously.
Well, I don't necessarily have you dead.
Right.
Although
Yeah.
you're
You have
super
to hit.
close.
You have to hit.
And this would put me to 5.
Yeah.
I think I do block here.
Sure.
I think it's pretty free.
Yep. And then I assume you're gonna upkeep Coco because you kept the card on top.
Yeah, how'd you
Yep.
know? Upkeep, I'm going to cast Collected Company.
Yep. And you're at 5,
Alright, you
which
can put me down.
could matter,
It might.
but
I know this gets me close, but it doesn't quite kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that probably does.
Zulaport.
Oh, well, we hit a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Alright, so I have the choice of either 2 Mayhem Devils or a Mayhem Devil and a Zulaport. I think it's going to be better to take the Zulaport just because I gain life? Wait, no, so I can't sack anything outside of the attack. So when I attack, he will go up to 8, and I sack 2 things, so you don't quite die. So I think the better thing is to just take 2 Mayhem Devils and control your board for this turn.
Sure.
And then I'm going to draw
Yep.
for turn. Okay. I'm going to play a... I'm not going to play any lands yet. I'm going to go to combat.
Yep.
Attack. Corvald will sacrifice a Blooming Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
He'll gain a life, or he'll get a counter. I'll draw a card. He goes up to 4, so he's an 8/8 now.
Yep.
And then I'll deal 2 damage to a Swift Spear.
Sure.
And then you go to 3.
Yep.
And then post combat, I'll play a tapped Blood Crypt and pass to you.
I don't think I have any outs. Another Vantage certainly isn't it, so I am dead.
Okay. All right. So overall thoughts on the matchup, Dykman?
Thoughts on the matchup? It felt, honestly, like, it feels pretty close. I did lose all 3 games, but game 1, you know, I kept a 4-lander and drew up to 7 lands. That was pretty rough. You didn't have a dork, so you didn't have the best hand either, but I drew 0 instants or sorceries in game 1 other than light up the stage, which doesn't interact with what you're doing, so I wasn't super impressed with that. Eidolon was very good on the play. I really hated it in that game 3. I do not think I should keep it in the deck on the draw. The way that game played out, I'm pretty sure I'm actually supposed to keep Boros Charm in my deck and just try and be a burn deck and
Sure.
kill you with spells. So I don't think my approach was ever quite right in our post-board games. I would have to play the matchup more to really know. But I do think, you know, the deck is obviously very good. I think that the matchup is definitely slightly favored for that deck. Really, really powerful deck. Just has a lot of very good cards, a lot of things that need to be answered. But really just the Woe Strider Catacomb Sifter, both being 3-drops that give you 2 bodies that can slow me down is really a problem. And then, you know, just the classic Mayhem Devil is just so good against these red aggro decks. It has been in Standard.
Yep.
And it's just not what you want to play against with red, usually. So, yeah. I think the matchup is pretty close, though, and I would like to play it more and learn more about it.
Sure. Honestly, from my perspective, it just felt like I was playing better cards than you.
Yep.
And it's not like an indictment on you. I mean, we're testing to see what it is,
No,
right?
absolutely.
But, like, just Coco felt like it was better than anything you had in your deck.
And it always is, right?
And it is, but, like, in Modern, like, you have Lightning Bolt, and Lightning Bolt is that good.
More speed. You
Yeah.
have a lot more speed and consistency.
Well, and you have, like, Lava Spike, and you just have... It just gets to 20 quicker, you
and
know?
Blaze. We can't forget about Searing Blaze.
Searing
is the
Blaze is a
card
big deal, too.
you really miss in this matchup because
Sure.
it always kills everything for
Yep.
2 mana and will always deal you damage if you can sack or not.
Sure, totally
So-
agree. So yeah, it feels like your burn spells, like I have a lot of 3 tough, or at least the cards that really matter have 3 toughness in Catacomb and Mayhem Devil. Corvald's just ridiculous against you post board.
Yep.
And yeah, it just feels like, you know, Coco is just so good too, because
Yep.
it's just instant speed, put blockers in play, hard for you to do the, like, I'm going to burn your guys out and then attack plan that Burn likes to do against other creature strategies, because it's just so easy for me to put 2 bodies on the board.
Yep. And I think, like I was saying at the beginning too, like you're mentioning Lightning Bolt and Lava Spike and things like that. The fact that this build is not playing Skewer, I'm really not a huge fan of it. I think
Sure.
you just need more burn spells. You just, even though it's like, there are times where it's awkward, you just like need that reach, and just the ability to kill your guys is a huge deal, and I
Sure.
was missing that in most of the games.
Sure.
So I would
All right.
like more of it.
Well, cool. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. All of that really helps us. If you want to, you know, leave a comment and say that I played like a goon on some of the turns, go for it. Happy to take the criticism. Any questions, comments on the plays, all happy about that. Also, if you want to suggest matchups that we should play, feel free to leave a comment and request something. We're happy to play whatever you want to see in any format. We'll do it. And yeah, with that, we'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.